Rachel Bilson was sitting there, and I like freaked out, and I like had not a panic attack, but just like my brain processed it so weird. Where like when you see someone that gorgeous, I was just like immediately, I was like, not a real person. And I was like, wait, who is that? Who's that? Rachel Bilson. And she just stood up and she's like, hi, I'm Rachel. And I was like, I'm John. I'm John.
You ran up the subway stairs.
So I need an hour.
I was going to say, wait a minute. I just asked if you need a minute. You said no, but then proceeded to say, I ran up the subway stairs. First of all, why did you do that?
Because I was a few minutes late.
It's not even, you're 5 minutes late.
Yeah.
And also, there's no such thing as late anymore now that we don't do radio. It's like, I don't know, we can record this at 11:30 at night if you want to. Whatever, dude.
We said 11:30. I try to do that. I was late this morning.
Bro, you can be 5 minutes late. You don't have to run up the stairs of the fucking... Dude, running up the stairs these days is... That's a bold undertaking, my friend. There are certain things that are just like, I'll be late. I will be late.
I honestly don't know when I'll get my breath back.
Dude, if I...
This whole episode is going to be... Yo, are they doing it with a thirsty dog in here?
Running out of breath at this age is that's like it takes 24 hours to recover. It takes 24 hours for sure.
I'll have a pain in my like leg tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like,
or, you know what the worst thing is? I guess you were coming out of the subway. If you run outside when it's under like 50 degrees, my chest I will develop like bronchitis from just jogging if it's 49 degrees. Forget about it if it's like 20 degrees. Forget about it. People are like, oh, it's like good to run in the cold. Like, no, it's fucking not.
That was always
this
Jason
is 38.
Jason Bourne's most impressive skill to me.
Is that he could run in the cold?
He knew how far he could run in the cold.
Yes.
Which is crazy. If someone knows, I think it's in like the very first, it's in Bourne 1.
Yeah,
and I still remember seeing it and being like...
It's like when he knows, right? Because he's like, I know how to...
It was at this altitude. He's like, I know how far I can run at this altitude how hard I can run at this altitude full speed before my hands start shaking.
Yes.
And I was like, that's amazing.
That is one of the best scenes ever when he's describing, when he's like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Like, I know how I can kill you with that thing. I know how to do this. I know how to do that. And I can tell you exactly how far I can run at this altitude before my hands start shaking.
I was probably like, what, 13 when that first came out?
So good.
2002? So yeah, it's 13. And I
nailed it.
A movie about just the most badass dude alive, and that for real sticks out still.
There's a scene in one where they get to like a safe house. And he like puts her on the bed, and then he just like lays down on the ground.
Yeah.
Like, just right on the hardwood floor like this. And he's like, "Good night." The best. I'm
on a big Matt Damon kick lately, actually. Oh, that's actually
he is a great candidate for if you could only have one person's movie catalog. I think he's a very good pick.
He is
because he's also made some cameos and shit.
Yeah.
And you get like the Oceans movies and like the ones he stars in, obviously, but he's also got some little things where he's done some funny shit where it's like that counts, like he's in there.
Yeah. Dude, I watched The Martian 2 nights ago.
Great movie.
Great. I was just like I don't know what it was that I saw of Matt Damon. I saw something and was like, I just want to watch Matt Damon be charismatic as hell for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't think of something else other than The Martian, but I went with The Martian. But that led me to, I finally have an answer for what statistic I would want at the pearly gates.
Okay.
How much money did I spend on movies that I knew full well I was falling asleep in 10 minutes?
Well, I can definitely start counting mine now. From now until I'm dead, every single movie I buy.
Movies I fell asleep in. Like if I started it in good faith and was like, I'm gonna watch this movie.
No, you knew.
That, like I was like, I'm falling asleep in 6 minutes. 3:49. Thank you very much, bro. So I bought that, fell asleep. Then I bought that was.
Now wait, do you go back? Because you get your 48 hours.
That one I went back.
Okay.
So last night,
because I rarely one of my biggest pet peeves is when you click buy. And then it says, do you want to play it now? And I'm like, fucking yes, I do. Who in the world buys it and waits till later? But I guess if you're counting your 48 hours, you're like, wait, we can't start yet. But who
I
buys
very
it
recently discovered that those 48 hours where you can watch it still. I thought you had 48 hours to watch the whole movie, but if the whole movie played, you were out.
Oh, so if you fall asleep,
And I would never go back and watch it.
It says you have one play and 48 hours to complete it.
But it's still, it's like I fell asleep, so I assumed the full movie played, but I still had it.
Oh, okay. So that's a lie then.
Yeah. Like I've very recently found out or discovered, it seems like on Prime, that like you still can watch it for 48 hours.
Makes sense.
But I bought that.
Makes sense. I buy Taylor Swift for Shay. Like Taylor Swift is $19.99. Actually, in the beginning, it might have been $29.99. I think I bought it like 6 times. I become a big Taylor fan because I've watched how much Shay loves it, and it's just impossible to hate something when your kid loves it that much. What she did with that movie is criminal.
What?
Criminal. Like releasing it for just her birthday, and then I think she re-released it again for Christmas, and then again for New Year's. Just leave it. And then also, it's $20. I have to rent it for $20 every single time. Just let me buy the movie. I'll buy it for $50. But right now I spent like $130. Anyway, keep going. Sorry.
Then I bought A Perfect Murder last night, and then I fell asleep again. No, I fall asleep, and I woke up at 4 a.m. and I was like, well, this isn't up for the day, and I was like, I'm gonna put on a movie to fall asleep. And one of my recommended movies, because I'd probably just watched The Martian, was Apollo 13. Bought that.
You rented a movie at 4 a.m.?
Yeah, I always do movies.
That is crazy. John, let me tell you something right now, and I mean this sincerely. That's the craziest thing you've ever done.
No. Why?
I mean, it's insignificant, so like whatever. But waking up at 4 and saying, I'm not up for the day. If you wanted to wake up and be like, it's crazy, but I'm going to start movie day right now. Like, I got nothing to do. I'm in bed. It's the weekend. I'm going to watch movies from 4 a.m. to 4 a.m.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. That was this morning.
Even crazier. You rented a movie at 4 a.m. on a Monday morning?
A Monday morning movie is
insane.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
That is the craziest thing I have ever heard in my life. And you know what's even crazier? There's a world where, like, he wouldn't have told us that. like if the conversation didn't go this way, we could have gone throughout our whole lives never knowing that on Monday, January 22nd, 2024 at 4 a.m., John rented Apollo 13, a movie from 1995. That is fucking insane, John.
Gang, I gotta tell you, I've been doing this for a couple of years now. This is not a new thing by any stretch of the imagination.
But you know you're trying to go back to sleep at 4 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Why not just put on something?
Well, I'm not trying to go back to sleep. I'll get a snack and I'll eat it in bed, but I'll be like,
and he's eating.
I'll be like, I know that I'm falling asleep.
Bro, I know that there's such a thing as like a midnight snack. People get up and eat and go back to sleep all the time, but not. I don't wake up, get food, order a movie, and go back to bed. That's fucking nuts, John.
I get up, I get 2 popsicles and a fistful of turkey, and I eat that in bed. And then I always fall asleep. But like between if I there's a 4 to 6 window, I'm always like I'm gonna fall.
Well,
asleep.
were you back to sleep at 4:05?
No, I probably got about a half hour into.
And you stay in bed.
Apollo 13. Yeah.
You ever thought about not putting a TV in your bedroom? If that would change like your life? I don't have one in there now, and I can't decide whether it makes a difference or not. Really, it is like every night I go to bed. You know, like I'm not like fucking, or I get out of bed in the morning and I'll sit there with the TV and I go to bed at night.
I'm sure it's because of the way I've been trained, but I'll do it some nights. I'll be like, I'm just like
trained. Got Jason Bourne over here. I can tell you how many movies I can watch at 4 a.m. on a Monday morning before I fall asleep.
There are some nights I'm like, I'm just going to sleep. And I'll turn the TV off, and I'll toss and turn for an hour and a half.
Isn't that the worst?
And like I'm sure I could break the habit, but
there's got to be a term for that. Like narcoleptic on the couch, like can't fucking stay awake, get in bed, and I'm like,
yeah,
doom scroll. That's crazy. Like, why does that happen?
I don't know. I'm sure I could break it, but. I will. Again, it's not regular, but it's probably once or twice a month. I'm just going to bed, and I will lay there until 2 a.m. and be like, "Fuck it, I'm watching a movie."
Bro, these are things. It's a young man's game. I can't start a movie at 2 a.m. anymore. I can't start a movie at 9 p.m.
That's a movie I know full well I'm not going to stay up for.
Right.
But
see,
like,
that's what I
midnight. I'm still doing the
at this point, half of a movie experience for me is falling asleep during it. I almost like it. It's like, this is going to be good for an hour, and then I'm going to knock out. And
I wonder,
okay.
Is that a dad thing, or is that like, because like when I watch movies with my dad, he does it every time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just like But you like movies. I don't think you like movies as much as I do.
No, I don't like. I think you really, really like movies. I like binging shows more than I like watching movies.
Yeah.
And
my dad did still stay awake for all of Oppenheimer though.
That's a good sign.
But it's a dad movie. But
it's I mean, that is the dad.
Yeah.
I think there's something to do. It's a little bit with age, but it's dad blood. Like, I think there might just be something with the level of stress that comes, where it's like when I'm finally like relaxed, I just like my body's just like
yeah.
And I like if I didn't have kids and worry about shit that I wouldn't be stressing. I don't know, because it's like I'm not that old.
Right.
But if I didn't have kids, I think I would maybe be more alert because they just suck the life out of you, you know. But I don't have my kids all the time, so it's like that's really not an excuse. There's plenty of times where that shouldn't be happening. But I think once you cross that line, there's something freeing about it. It's like I'm going to fall asleep and I don't care. Like I'm not even going to try to fight it. It's just going to happen. There would be times where I'd be like, all right, like wake up, you know, come on. It's like, no, I'm just going to. Just leave me alone.
If you have like a girl over, are you like fistfulling turkey and doing all that too? Yeah. Oh my god, dude.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I remember I've asked you that question years ago where I was like, is it gross that I have the trash barrel in my bathroom is full of food?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, if you went to a guy's room, like, would you, or apartment, would you be like, what the fuck? Right. And yeah, stuff like not like food, like wrappers.
Like what, like string cheese and shit, like
no, like fucking protein bars and candy, mostly protein bars.
You said no to string cheese like it was so.
I don't like cheese like that.
What, like cold cheese?
I never eat just cheese.
Really?
Yeah.
What about like a charcuterie plate?
I'll make like a little Lunchable.
You can't just do cheese and crackers?
I probably could, but I don't prefer it. Like if it was the only food.
You give me like a brick of mozzarella, I'll eat the whole fucking thing.
I buy cheese. I'm like, I have food for the week.
Totally.
Well, you're Italian.
Yeah. I eat cheese like a guinea. I really do. Like I'll eat a brick of mozzarella, like no problem. When I go to Fiore's, they you know, their sandwich is roast beef with fresh mozzarella, and I tell them hold the roast beef. Like,
really?
Just give me a sandwich. I get hot peppers and roast beef on the bread. Wow. It's fucking incredible.
That's crazy.
Because like, their best thing is they have homemade mutts that they like, you know, it sits in that milk water or whatever the fuck, and it's incredible. I was like, I don't want anything else to cut this taste, you know. And I really like their hot peppers, so just fucking load up on the cheese. And they're always like, "That you just want the cheese? I'll put more on." They give me extra. I'm like, "This is what I want." Dude, let's get back to it. 4 a.m.
Bro, the other morning I tweeted I was watching San Andreas at 7 a.m.
Oh my god.
That's even crazier because do you stay? What's the earliest you'll start a movie that you'll watch the whole way
7.
through? So you woke up at 7. First thing you did, put on San Andreas and watched it till like 9 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Back to bed after, or
no, I'll go to the gym.
okay.
Was it a weekday or weekend?
Weekday. It was Monday because I watched San Andreas because I wanted to watch a Giamatti movie because he'd won Best Actor at the Globes the night before.
Right. Naturally. As one does. Yeah, I mean, at this point, we need somebody following you around to write a book like that woman did with the gorillas in the mist. Is that Jane Austen was her name?
Yeah.
Or she just like watched the
Jane
gorillas.
Wait, no,
Jane
Jane, yeah.
What's it?
Yeah,
Jane
Jane Austen
Goodall.
has novels, but
Yeah.
Goodall, right?
Jane Goodall,
Yeah.
yes. She just like lived amongst the gorillas,
Yeah.
right, and kind of just like watched and just wrote a book about how they live. I need a woman to do that for you.
It would be. I guess it would be a lot like Girls, where most of the time it's
say-
really boring, and then sometimes it's like they do that.
Yeah, like 23 hours a day, you're just like picking at each other's hair, and then that 1 hour is
What the
chaos.
fuck was that?
Yeah. Feitelberg in the mist, and it's just you living like a you are like you know that story of that little girl who lived like a feral cat for a while, and then she got reintroduced to society, but she like had animal tendencies. Like,
Yeah.
that's you. You are a human that has like, you know, primate tendencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Maybe he's just less evolved. Maybe you're just closer to the primates than we are, you know? You're like
yeah,
the
but
missing
as
link.
with my primate brain, I consider that more evolved. I'm just chilling, dude.
You may be right. Maybe you're right. Maybe you are right.
Like, what are you guys doing? Like, we're doing things. I'm like, that seems unnecessary.
Jake Johnson said it in our interview where he was talking about he has got a fascination with the gorillas.
Yeah.
And I think he said that, like, we're so close to them DNA-wise,
Yes.
you know? And I don't know if he said it, but I was thinking it. The fact that, like, we think of, like, we're more evolved than them. And I'm like, of course, I understand what you mean, like, brain-wise. But I'm like, I don't know. That thing's a machine.
Yeah.
To look at that and think that we are any way better than that thing is crazy to me. Because
I
that thing
remember
will beat your
seeing-
ass, rip your face off, climb a tree, build a this, rip a that. You know, like, that thing is... A gorilla is way more capable in this world than I am.
I remember seeing like a thing where it was like it was a cartoon, and it was like a person being like, haha, you stupid ape, you can't even blah 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 blah, and I had this long list of things, like, and the ape just replies, everything you pay for is free.
Exactly that, man. What is that little monkey? That's just like a little baby monkey that was just chilling with her? That's awesome. Every now and then something catches me. Like, I'm team indoors for life, but that, like, that's pretty cool. Living amongst the monkeys to the point that they don't rip your face off. How do you train for that? Like the very first time you're like, okay, I've been hanging out on the outskirts. This is the time I'm gonna, like, step up to them. They might rip my face off, but I don't think they're gonna. That's a moment of truth.
I would guess you get it in with a smaller guy.
Probably,
and be
yeah.
like, hey, let them know I'm
But
all
even
right.
that, then you're fucking with, like, their kids.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
One of my favorite things in internet history, I used to blog it every year, was when the Japanese zoos would do emergency training at the zoo.
It's ringing a bell. Wait.
So fucking good. Every year, they would have somebody dress up like a gorilla or they would have, like, 4 people be like a rhino with, like, walking on 4 legs, and they would be like run a drill like it's escaped from the cage, and they would, like, hit it with sticks and it would run around pretending to be a monkey, and there'd be, like, a guy, like, blowing a whistle, and, like, they were kind of like running a scrimmage basically with what would you do during a zoo emergency. And I remember being like, oh, this is like a joke, and it was, like, dead ass serious. Every year they were just training for an escaped gorilla. It was the best. Oh, the good old days of blogging. It was like, Japanese zoo training's out. The new video dropped, 2023 or 2015 edition. Let me go blog it.
Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. You know what you shouldn't have to do? You shouldn't have to worry about when you're buying your tickets to your next big event. Game Time is the fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, theater events near you. I've been to a couple theater events on Game Time's dime. I've been to Merrily We Roll Along. That was awesome. Saw Daniel Radcliffe right up front. Oh, I've been to I Need That, Danny DeVito right up front. That's all thanks to Game Time. I've been to countless events. I've been to countless playoff games, countless sporting events. But the theater, man, really gets me going. That's what gets me jacked up. You get last-minute ticket deals, flash deals, zone deals. They are easy to find and buy tickets for every kind of event in your area. Game Time is the only ticketing app that gives you complete peace of mind with your purchase. See the view from your seat before you buy, hugely important, so you know exactly what to expect when you arrive. Fenway, you buy a ticket to Fenway, you could be staring at the Green Monster the whole game. You don't want that. Old School Garden, you could be looking at a pole the whole game. You don't want that. They're all in prices, so your total up front. So you know what, you're getting a great deal without the hidden fees, and you can buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. 10 seconds, 2 taps. You can be in the game at the event, which I always say is incredibly important. You can take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code KFC for $20 off your purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code KFC for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed.
Has anybody's fairy tale magic carpet ride ever just crashed and burned better than or worse than Damar Hamlin's last night with that fake punt. That was insane.
I have to be honest.
Fourth quarter, three-point game to go to the AFC Championship, fake punt. What?
I don't know why I haven't looked it up yet. I must have been looking at my phone because I watched the game, but I still haven't seen the play.
It's just is
it his fault or is it a bad call?
No, it's just a bad.
It's a bad. It was definitively a bad call.
Like you don't put Damar Hamlin in for a fake punt, and if you're Damar Hamlin, you probably go, no,
dude. I
guys.
didn't suit up like 14 games this year.
Now I have to make I have to pull off one of the most difficult trick play. Now I guess the thought is like when you try to do a fake punt, fake whatever trick play, sometimes the punter can walk it across the fucking first down because the play works so well. But if it doesn't work well, you better be a very capable player, and I think we all can.
Damar
say now
Hamlin's
that
he's like 5'10", $150.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean,
so skinny.
and not to say that it was like I think it was like 12 or 13 minutes left or whatever. So it wasn't like it lost the game, but it was fourth down in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And a 3-point game, and you just like came up like a full 3 yards short. and Nance is just like, Hamlin doesn't get it. Like, yeah, no fucking kidding, you didn't get it. Why? Like, that had to have been Damar Hamlin had to be like, wait, what? Coach, no. Like, we talked about this in practice, but like that was during like week 7, bro. We didn't talk about doing this in the divisional round. I mean, he barely makes it past the line of scrimmage.
Did you
27, 24, 12:51 left to go in the game.
Did you see Greer's Twitter last night?
Yes, it's so funny.
I'm sure you had a field day
I
with
think
it.
Greer had like 17 consecutive Damar Hamlin tweets.
I love that the reply to the probably not the best idea. I mean, honestly, what in the goddamn world are you thinking there? We were robbed of more Damar. Greer is hands down the funniest person at this company, man. That is.
Damar makes that kick.
I mean, I got like that is. If I was a Bills fan, listen, there's a lot to be upset about as a Bills fan. But that might okay, let's rank these things, okay? Wide right, again, obviously. The feeling of like Josh Allen was and is the one, and this is like and this was our window, and it's just still like not happening.
Yeah.
And it feels like it never will. We ran a fake punt with Damar Hamlin in the fourth quarter of a 3-point game. Because those are all, in a weird way, I could take any ranking of those 3 things, and I'd be okay with it. Because they're all gut-wrenching.
The Damar Hamlin one, though, to be fair to Damar Hamlin, is only so weird because he died last year.
Yeah! But
like,
that's kind of a big part of the story, John. He died last year, and he kind of stinks.
But like 99.9% of fake punts, the guy who runs the ball, you don't know who he is. Yeah. It's not like the star running back who's back there.
Yeah, that's kind of my... Yeah, that is true. That is true. But it's like, it's extra because he died last year.
Yeah.
You picked a guy who, like, I would venture to guess... I have no idea, maybe. I was going to say that, they're probably still someone who regularly plays in most games, no?
I would think so, but like every fake punt ever,
you never know
I don't know who the guy
yeah.
who got that ball was.
Yeah.
So like it's like only a big deal because he died.
Yeah.
But it still is very funny because like he died.
That'll just be like forever. Everything Damar Hamlin does becomes more interesting and or funny because he died.
Yeah.
So you run a fake punt and you succeed, it's awesome because you died. You run a fake punt and you fail, it's funny because you died. But feels more like a week 8 play, not a divisional round playoff fourth quarter play.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, going for it there.
I guess. Yeah. The you probably can swap swap anybody out, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's more about the call than the fact that it was Damar Hamlin. But it's like in a very pivotal moment in a game that we ended up losing by 3. We put it in the hands of a dead guy. These are all things that Bills fans have to live with, and it just ain't right, man. I did my video today on them throwing snowballs at Patrick Mahomes, and we've crushed Philly for decades for throwing snowballs at Santa, and there's been other times where people throw shit on the field, and every time we say it's scumbag and classless, and so that holds true with this situation too, but it's also Bills Mafia, man, and they shovel.
Oh, I don't think there's anything wrong with throwing snowballs.
I don't think you can't throw a snowball.
Why not?
You can't. I mean, yes, it's a lot better than like a fucking battery.
Yeah,
But if you whack Patrick Mahomes in the face with a tightly packed snowball, it still ain't cool, man.
it's not cool, but it's that. I think
what's
snowballs
worse?
from the crowd's part of playing in Buffalo.
Well, yeah. So I was gonna say it's a Buffalo thing in that regard. I mean,
Anything from the crowd, they throw a dildo at you.
yeah. There is genuinely something to me that's like, that's Buffalo. It's okay.
Yeah,
I think if you shovel the snow in the stadium, then you get to throw the and
Snowball,
also,
bro, people throw snowballs. Snowballs are snowballs. Like,
They were
if
pelting
you're pouring
the,
water on it and you're making it an ice ball, different
that's
story.
what I'm saying, though. You don't
If
know-
You're just
you know-
throwing a snowball. Come on.
yeah. Well, I don't know though. These snowballs are coming in from the crowd, and they're still like there's one, not this one. There's another view where he's running through the tunnel, and it's like it's like a missile, and I was like, that's got to be packed around. Like you're that might be something covered in snow for all I know, but.
The snowballs with Philly was at Santa. That was the difference.
That's the
You're
X Factor.
it
They're
at
throwing it
player.
back Father Christmas.
Yeah, like the other player. I mean, bro got hit by a 300-pound man
True.
15 times this game. He's
That
gonna
was-
go home and be like, I don't know, that snowball was pretty classless.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not about it's the classy debate.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like I don't think Patrick Mahomes was in danger.
Right.
I just think you're kind of an asshole. But I do kind of give them a pass. Like if I was Patrick Mahomes, genuinely, I really mean this. If and let's say it even hit me. Let's say like a tightly packed ice ball smashed me in the face. I mean, as long as I didn't have like a broken nose or some shit. In my press conference, when they asked me about it, I think I would be like, it's okay.
Oh, I'd
It's
be
Bills Mafia. Like that was a brutal game for them. I'm like, I get it. It's okay. I would tell the media, like, don't make this a thing. It's all good.
Yeah, what was that, Chris Jones? Like, that's what I would. I like dance at it. Like,
Yeah, like, bring it on. Yeah.
It's
Look at Tranquill right here. Square up after a snowball.
but to be fair to him, that was almost like he was turning 2.
Yeah.
Right? Like
He wanted to throw. If he could have caught
if he was
that,
gonna
he would
catch it, he was
throw
gonna throw it back. Yeah. Like he hit his hand, and he was kind of like fucking popping up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
It
big
was
boy.
so much fun.
That was the best football game of the season.
That was
hands
America.
down.
That was the best football game I've ever watched.
That was
The
that
five
was
lead changes
Yes.
with those two guys playing in that matchup with these stakes. The only thing that would have been better is if it was the AFC Championship game. Like that was incredible.
I know obviously all my references go back to the Patriots, but like that felt like I was watching an old school Patriots game where it was like
And these guys,
two good football teams playing football.
since the Patriots have like fallen off, I feel like this to me is like the Chiefs Bills is like the new thing that you watch almost.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah, people
And-
were saying like it's like Brady Manning early before, and I saw a lot of Patriots people rolling their eyes on it. Like I don't think that's a crazy comparison, Brady Manning for Mahomes Allen.
Not at all. Why?
One guy who's unbelievably great, one guy who can't get it done in the playoffs. Sounds like early Brady Manning.
I was gonna say this is a very apt comparison.
Yeah.
Very, very apt. I mean, yeah, it's but like, I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I like him, and I never had like a thing like that. I liked Peyton Manning, but it's just not Josh Allen's fault, and it wasn't Peyton Manning's fault either. He was
Yeah.
doing like everything, you know, but it felt more like I guess you got to put it on Josh Allen. You got to be like I saw some.
I mean, Manning was throwing like 4 picks sometimes.
Yeah, so he did have like choke games.
Yeah,
where I
but
feel
also
like
Josh Allen fumbled this game away. It's just the Bills happened to pick it up.
That's true. That's true. But he did play very well. Although, I don't know. I just like the guy, so I'm like,
Yeah.
it's not his fault. Not his fault. But at some point, you know, you got to get over the hump. It just sucks when like you will never not have Mahomes in your way.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna just be there forever. Like he's probably either the same age or like younger, right? It's like
Yeah, I would say Mahomes probably 30.
it's just like you're gonna be there.
His 6th full season starting, 7th season in the league.
Did they say that
29,
yesterday
28.
he's
Damn.
never not been in the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, six straight.
Sickening, dude. Absolutely sickening. I felt it after their first win. I think they're gonna win the title. I think they're gonna win it. And as much as I was like halfway joking about all that Taylor stuff, I really think we're gonna get that moment at the Super Bowl, which is fucking crazy, man. Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl as a non-performer is something that nobody had on their bingo card.
Dude, how about her with Gerard Carmichael last night? That went really unnoticed.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
Like one of the first times they cut to her. I don't think anyone.
Oh, I didn't know who that was.
It was Gerard Carmichael.
What?
Dude has one fucking cameo, I guess, in Poor Things, and all of a sudden he's in the box with Taylor.
Yeah. What was that about?
I don't know.
I didn't even know who it was.
I know.
I was like, who is? I was like, that must be somebody super famous that I'm just so out of touch now. I don't know who it is.
I think he's very good friends with Bo Burnham, who is dating Phoebe Bridgers, and I'm guessing that's how they met.
That's a pretty big.
Why? Phoebe and Taylor are like really good friends.
But like, was Phoebe there?
I don't think so, but I'm just saying that's how they met.
That's what I mean. That's a pretty big 6 degrees of separation to be in the box with Taylor Swift.
Well, then he did Poor Things.
Right. But like you said, it's not like it's.
What'd you think about this?
Oh, the heart?
Yeah.
Dude, I went right to Twitter because my phone can't rewind, my TV can't rewind, and the first person I saw tweet about it was Dave. I was like going to like find like a picture of the video or something like that, and the first person to have it up was Dave. And I was like, that's a real Swiftie right there, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got. I really do give it to the Swifties, like the fan accounts that are like tweeting videos of Jason Kelce jumping in the crowd and drinking beers. Like the Swifties become diehard fans of everything that woman does.
Yeah.
Like, why in the world? I don't even know. What do you think those fan accounts are? Do you think they're like an adult woman, a young
I think they're
girl,
adult men in Brazil.
adult men? Yeah, like what? Like the thought that whoever runs that account is like, okay, that's Jason Kelce.
Here's a safe bet. Anyone pretending to be a young woman online, a man.
Yeah, John, you said you've been saying the last couple weeks everybody's a pedophile. You want to know why? Because they are. Because they are. They're everywhere. Jason Kelce putting on a machine-like performance.
Yeah.
Looking like Bert out there. You seen Bert, by the way? He looks like Jason Kelce.
Yeah.
They could body double for each other right now. Bert's looking great. How good did it feel, or like what was your reaction when you guys pretty much almost nailed the Taylor?
Dude,
costume?
that's all Megan making money.
That jacket, like if it was just like a little bit different, you would have nailed her outfit for that video. Which, by the way, I mean, I say it every week now. Out of Order is just, it's it. You did it. You realize that you did it?
No.
Like this is just gonna keep growing and getting bigger until like everybody on the internet and the world knows about it. You did it. You finally, you did it. You found something that works, and it's going to continue to work. And the way you can churn them out, the way you can turn them around, and how funny they are every time, it's gonna be like one of the biggest sketch shows on the internet. You did it. It's not there yet because it's not there yet, but only because like we just need more days to elapse because people just keep finding it and the views keep going and the search engine keeps working. If you type in Taylor Swift Buffalo right now, you're the third thing on Google. It's like
really?
it's like second thing. Sorry, second thing on Google. Like that, you're doing it
cool.
so smart that it's not only is it funny and like looks good and all that. I mean, you tip videos, it's boom right there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That is so fucking smart. And
I think it's very good. I think that wasn't our best one. But
it doesn't matter.
But it does matter.
Well, listen, you should always shoot for the best, but when you're like, okay, that was fine, because also it's different if you like wait a season and then you put that out. You're like, well, that wasn't very good. if that's like your quick turnaround because of what's going on in the world right now, you had a week to do that and you executed it that well, and it's doing as well as it is, and that's like one of your worst ones. You did it. You did it.
Yeah, but you can't have a lot of those. You can't have a lot of like.
Sure, but you also won't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you haven't yet. I mean, if that's like one of your worst, like that's also.
I don't think it's one of our. I think everyone's in agreement. It's not our. It's a lower tier one.
But it's like such a. If you're gonna have a lower tier one, have it just be like it's a Taylor Swift thing, and Megan looks like her, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just all very well executed. So now you just do this until you become. We gotta get you like an agent, dude. We gotta get you or a manager, or I don't even know what. I don't know what those are, bookers, whatever. We got to get you in cameo roles in movies and commercials. I watch these commercials. You would be such a great commercial guy. It reminds me of the music video for OAR. Like that felt like a commercial.
Yeah,
it's like okay, like you could be like a Jake from State Farm. Yeah, we got to get you a Jake from State Farm role, dude. Yo, there's no reason you can't be Jake from State Farm. You'd be so good at that. Imagine if Jake from State Farm just reaches in his pocket and pulls out lunch meat and then tells you about the fucking the insurance.
KFC Radio is sponsored by Betterhelp. Around New Year's, we get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of expanding on what we're already doing right. Maybe you finally organize one part of your space and you want to tackle another. Maybe you're taking your supplements every morning and now you want to actually eat breakfast too. Therapy helps you find your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that really stick. That's one of the better things I've learned from therapy is the extreme changes, the volatile changes. Those don't always work out. You want to just be steady Eddie. Don't beat yourself up when you break it. Don't beat yourself up in order to stay in that realm at all times either. Just kind of know what's good for you. Always try your best to achieve that. Don't be so rigorous and regimented. Just don't try and be great. Try and be okay. And then you can be great. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit BetterHelp.com/KFC today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/KFC.
Have you seen Drew Walls?
Yes.
Drew Walls. Drew Walls is like everything that is right and wrong at the internet about the internet all at the same time. That guy, if you don't know who Drew Walls is, he's this dude. I have theories on him, by the way. Drew Walls is on TikTok for how long now, Pabs? How long has he been doing it?
He's been doing it for over a year, but he probably just blew
over
up.
A year.
Yeah.
He's just been filming watch me throughout my day type videos. A day in the life. And it's him getting up, putting on his T-shirt, getting out of the shower, putting on clothes, making breakfast, driving to work, day in the life. Watching me go to Target. He pulls in the parking lot, gets his cart out, puts stuff in the cart. It's all jump cuts, and then he just buys stuff at Target and goes home with it. Watch me go to the gym. Just random shit where that's kind of what the internet has become. But also people are like, what? Why the fuck are you doing this? Like, why do people want to watch you do this? And it starts to go viral, and Twitter gets a hold of it, and they just start clowning the fuck out of Drew Walls. There's videos of people videoing him. Did you see that one on Barstool?
No.
Like, this guy was sitting in his car at Target, and he's filming out the back, and he's like, I caught the Target guy filming, and he's got his tripod out in the parking lot, and he's pulling out the shopping cart, like making sure it looks all perfect, redoing it every time. Gets clowned to like no end, keeps doing it to the point that it starts to come all the way back around. People start to like it. Now has like an ad deal with the NFL, and Brittany Renner just hit him up.
Yeah, Tiana Trump.
Excuse me. Tiana Trump just hit him up, being like, bring that tripod over here. When you do the internet and you do something you like and the internet makes fun of you relentlessly and then you just keep doing it until you can make money off of it and Tiana Trump hits you up, That's a big fat internet dub.
Stephen J. Stephen J just liked the Bucks and watching all 22.
And now look at his fucking life. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And he just powers through all the hate. Probably making more money.
The first thing Dave ever wrote about Stephen J was, "This is our fucking sales guy."
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
He's like,
and now he's our
sales guy's
content guy.
hobby is just watching all 22 of the Buccaneers football. Because at the time the Bucks sucked. It was by 2016, 17. It's pre-Brady, and
then he gets Brady. Brady falls in his lap. Like it's truly. Now,
the Drew Walls thing, the most relatable thing. The ESPN, that must have been like charity. Like, you're advertising a divisional round NFL game? Like, they must have
you
given
don't
him
need to do that.
no one needs to advertise with influencers in particular what, like, the NFL all divisional round game. Like, everyone knows. It's on 4:30 on Saturday. It's on 8 o'clock Saturday night. It's 3:30 at 5. Like, there's no need for this. ESPN was just like, this will be funny or something like that. There's just no need.
That's part of my thought that there in my mind. Is Jackie here?
Yeah.
We can get our conspiracy brains going again here. This guy is too like good looking and in shape, and like his apartment's nice and all that shit. And I feel like he's pretty much connected with Target now. I feel like this is a guerrilla marketing thing. Like the ultimate, like the newest version of it, where like they set this in motion like a year ago and said like, just do this and this will work. We will catch this on, or maybe it doesn't and we just like we throw it off to the side. But this feels like it's like, why? The whole thing confuses me.
I mean, it might be, but like, I mean,
Drake's always playing. He's always going to Target. He's almost like there's no reason to.
But it surely might be. I have no idea. But
An industry plant from Target.
But like a million
said.
people do this.
I know.
Like everyone films themselves all day.
Right, but this is like usually this is too clean.
No, but I mean that same guy went viral. Like I think people are like kind of sick of it. So it's like I think the first week he went viral was like I think the comment was like content creation like ruined the world or whatever. Yeah. And like it was someone
because it was just
him.
like a boring.
But remember the guy who we talked about him like last year, maybe a couple months ago, the guy who was just like doing like day in the life, and we set it to different music, and it was like I think a lot of people do this.
But this guy is like not a. Usually when like something like this goes viral, it's because like the person is like their apartment's like trash, or they're ugly, or there's something to it where it's like, why in the world would this person like film it? Like that's why it goes viral. Right. Because it's like, look at this guy who's like ugly or weird or in this he's showing off his shitty car or whatever. This guy is he's shredded. It's almost like he should be an influencer. Yeah. He almost got.
Well, he's definitely that's what he's trying to be.
Right, but I'm saying he got like the ironic audience almost being like, look at this Drew Walls guy. Like when it's like he should just be like, I'm a hot influencer.
Well, that's I think that's 100% what he was going for. Yeah, he'll take the other one. I think he's like, I'm in shape, I'm good looking. People will watch this because of the same reason everyone watches people in shape, good looking.
Yeah, I guess I'm saying it's just weird that if it caught on for that reason, if it was just like, yo, girls want to fuck this guy and like he's in shape and people are like, he's selling protein shakes and shit, I'd be like, that makes sense. But the fact that it was like this, we hate him, and then he just like kept at it till it came all the way back around.
If he didn't do the back end park, I don't think we.
Yeah. So the one video, he set up the tripod, and he backed his car into the spot, and then like got out of his car and did it all again, like multiple parks to get like the right shot, and that was where people were like, he really. Like, wow, he really does that.
I didn't know he's got kids. back in park is his dad has fallen asleep in a movie.
It's such a pain in the ass when people do it too.
My dad does it it's insane.
It's like, especially when there's like not enough space to do it. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? I don't know. Either way, when it ends though, like I could have gone either way on it, where it's like part of me thinks it's stupid. The day in the life stuff, it's definitely like, why do you do this? Who cares? But if it ends with Tiana Trump saying, bring your tripod over, you definitely have done the internet right. You've done it better than me, brother.
The only relatable thing I've ever seen this guy do is have 3 separate versions of his reply to Tiana Trump.
So good.
Like, just kept editing it. Where it's like, I think he ended on eye emoji.
It was first eye emojis, no answer, and then it was like this crazy eye emojis.
And then he had one more.
And then it was just eye emojis. Went back to the old.
Just in his room. I hope he was filming that, being like, just walking around in a panic, like, what the
that would
fuck
be funny.
am I gonna say Tiana Trump?
You know, he's just sitting there going, "Oh, not even a like. Nobody's replying. Nobody's liking this." Pap said that on Twitter. They go, "My man is stuttering on Twitter."
Ain't no way, eye emoji, eye emoji.
That's what it was, yeah.
So good, man. That is real. Like that's so good.
Nothing else he's ever done can I relate to except that. I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to say to the hot chick who wants to blow me?
Dude, he also got like in shape so fast. He was kind of like there's a video of him like just from a year ago being like, like a, soft body. Now he's fucking shredded. The whole thing. If it's not planned, that I think there are people out there trying to plan it. I wonder how much how deep it goes sometimes when people try to market. Because guerrilla marketing has always been a thing, and it's like, what is the next level of it when you're trying to wait? What is he? Does he play ball?
Oh yeah, I remember one of them. He posted like his highlight. Yeah, it was like a pass.
It was 2 chest passes.
That's fucking funny. That's really funny. And the flowers, dude. The flowers. This guy's freaks. I hate that guy so much. He scares the shit out of me. That guy is so crazy.
Who's that?
He's
yeah. The yak it like messes with him a lot.
Yeah. He just like stares and he's just like, did you know that Drew Walls put up a basketball? He talks very.
My mortal enemy like that is I don't know if anybody ever takes cabs, but the guy in New York City cabs. I forget his name, but he does like basically does a 1 minute man. He'll do like a clip of something. It's more America's Funniest Home Videos than 1 minute man, and then it's always like a New York thing, and then he always ends it with "That's New York City, baby."
Yes.
And I'm like, you motherfucker.
I follow him. Yes, Ferris wheel, something or other.
Because I always take cabs home. I take cabs all the time.
He always goes "yer," and then he does some like his Instagram is a little more like real. Ferris Wheel J, that's his name. This guy, right?
Yeah, my mortal enemy. I despise that man.
No, he's a cool guy,
dude.
That's like his sellout word.
Because every time I come home from the airport in particular, I always get stuck with the fucking van cabs, which rattle like a son of a bitch.
What is up with that? That's not those vans though. Right? It's like the cab company does something. They like rip out the interior.
No, I think
and just put in loose metal.
Well, yeah, but it's for wheelchairs.
Yeah, but is it not like they just don't secure it at all?
Yeah, I guess.
It's just and squeaky and ugh.
So like every cab ride home, it's just I just want to be home, and so I'm annoyed, and that's rattling, and then every 3 minutes, that guy goes, "That's New York City, baby."
So no, this is the problem. The problem for Jay is that he went viral early on for actual New York City specific stuff. And it was always like, you're not from New York City if you haven't done this, that, and the other. And it was always like, if you dress this way, if you eat this, if you wear that, did you grow up saying this? And they always were New York specific. But if you make 25 of those videos, you run out of all the New York specific stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually it was like, you're not from New York City if you don't like drive your car and park backwards or whatever. It's like, what? No, everybody everywhere does that. He was like, I'm riding this wave, I gotta keep going. So he would just start saying random shit that I'm like, I'm pretty sure everybody all across the city, all across the world does this. But when I saw him as the guy in the cabs, I wonder if that is if you get money for that or not. You think that's something where you get paid or not paid?
I mean, you get paid, I would get,
but not like a lot of money. Yeah. Yeah, AM New York sort of shit. Yeah, I'll stand up for Ferris Wheel J, but I can understand why, especially someone who's not in New York would hate that little. But you knew his sign off though.
Yeah, because it plays every trip home from the airport's an hour and a half. I watch it 100 times.
How
a
much
cab
do you
ride.
pay these days to go home from the airport?
I probably like I took an Uber to the airport, which was $1.80.
Yeah, okay.
And then
That's $250.
$250.
Yeah.
But I took a cab home. That was like $100 with it.
I think I did a yellow cab and it was $250 because I hit a couple tolls and shit too.
Yeah.
But I was like, God damn. So shout out to Drew Walls. Drew Walls, come on the show. Come on the show. We'll talk about it, man. Jackie, I sent a text to Jackie. Did you see I posted this on Instagram?
No.
It was very funny. I saw a Reddit post. It was a post on Instagram from Reddit. And it says, am I the asshole for telling my brother he cannot stay with me over Christmas if he brings his prosthetic leg? My younger brother has a prosthetic leg. I think it's creepy as fuck, and I have no idea where he got it. I'm reasonably certain that it's something I would rather not know. To be clear here, my brother has 2 perfectly healthy legs still attached to his body. He just has this thing and takes it with him everywhere he goes.
Oh, I didn't read that part.
So I send it to Jackie, and she said, oh my God, why is this coming up everywhere? And I write back, simulation. And then she says, no, don't even get me started on my coma theory. So Jackie?
I mean, this is another theory that I have that I keep a little bit more quiet because it's like crazy. But like a part of me,
I think this one's more real than the other ones.
a part of me really believes that somewhere in the world I'm in a coma right now. And the reason I have such a fear of losing a leg is because I actually don't have a leg, and I just came out of a car crash. And like I'm sitting in, and this theory started. And I had also texted Kevin this before I knew that he was airing it out on social. That I came up with this theory because there was like one time in high school, like I could not shake the feeling of like fog. Like everything in like my nose just felt foggy. Like I felt like I couldn't breathe in like dry air. I saw it in windows when it shouldn't have been in windows. I saw it in movies. Like people were like wiping fog off of like bathroom mirrors. It was just everywhere. Like it was everywhere. And I was like, I feel like I'm in like, you know how like an Avatar, like they're in these little pods and then like it's whatever. I felt like in my hospital room, wherever I am, that there's like fog or something like that. So then I've developed this theory that I'm somewhere sitting in this hospital room. And then whenever I'm like there'll be periods where leg stuff comes up a lot. And
Leg stuff.
then I'm like, oh my God, I'm waking up. And then I freak out and I feel like I'm about to wake up.
You know what? Do you dream? You don't really dream,
Not
right?
really.
Do you dream? So you guys probably don't know it. When you have a dream and like something's happening in real life, it works
Yeah.
your way into your dream.
Yeah.
So like if you have to pee, like a lot of times in my dream I have to piss.
Yeah.
It wakes you up, you know? Or if there's like some sort of noise going on, construction or something, in your dream all of a sudden that starts happening. It's like as you're coming out of it. If you don't dream, you wouldn't really know that feeling. But that weird little in between feeling where you're dreaming and it's real and is Jackie's. She's a one-legged.
I got like kind of pissed the other day
in a
because
one-legged coma.
there was like a week where like I just kept cutting my fingers. Like every single finger had a cut on it, and I was like, "Who the fuck is cutting my fingers in the hospital room?" That is like there's somebody like doing something to my body right now, and I was like, "Hey, this is annoying. Like this is showing up in real life." Like a part of me really believes.
In real life.
Well, there it is.
Well, in like
So we call a Freudian slip right there.
no, but like this is real. Okay, and then oh my God, I have so many theories about the world. So then I went on this whole TikTok thing where it's like there's a bunch of people. This is a very common thing. People go to sleep and then they wake up in this other world, like with this other reality, and they're trying to be like, you guys, like this is not like this is a dream. This is a dream, and everyone's like, no, you're being crazy. Like this isn't a dream. And some people are aware of it, some people aren't. But like some people have literally like 40-year sprints, like they have full kids, full family, and then they wake up and they have to like grieve these people. But like it's only been a night, maybe like a little longer. And then they wake up and they go, well, I had kids, and now I'm back to like being this 18-year-old
I've
girl.
read those Reddit threads before. I don't know if those people are just lying or crazy or what. But I mean, there are a lot of people who are like, I've had the same experience. Where,
Yeah.
like, I lived a life in my dream.
I follow this one girl on TikTok.
I'm
She's like, this just isn't my life right now. Like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. But, like, I'm in a dream right now. And everyone's like, are you? But, like, I kind of believe it. She seems really adamant.
Oh, well then.
How like are those people all just lying? Because that's
I don't
the fact that there's plenty of people who are all chiming in, being like, I I know exactly what you're talking about. I lived an entire life in my
Yeah.
dream. It's like, no, you didn't. You were asleep for 8 hours.
It's like too many people to be lying. But also, it's kind of like, just kind of like how a dream starts. Like, I don't remember how I got here. I don't have like a first memory. Things don't really like always kind of make sense, you know?
Yeah.
What? You're doing that face that's like, oh, I'm better than you. You fistful fucking popsicles.
I'm not. I don't think I'm better. Well, I do think I'm better than you, but
God's favorite.
this is like I'm coming to realize that you're just a true crazy person.
I don't think
and
what I'm saying is like,
it's like sometimes I feel bad that I'm like stepping on it. Like I'm like
Just crushing her
not even like because
philosophy
I'm not
every day.
changing your mind, but like I feel bad like I'm stepping on the fun. But it's like I like making jokes, and I like making racist jokes, and I like making homophobic jokes, and I like making sexist jokes. But if I'm making them with someone who truly believes it, I'm like, this
Then
is
it becomes
uncomfortable and
a
weird.
problem.
And now I'm talking about these alternate realities and stuff like that with someone who really believes it, and it's off-putting.
That's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. You're not joking. It's bad when you say it.
I want to talk to Frankie. I want to get in a room with Frankie because he'll respect it and he'll respect me for this. But this is what I'm saying is like, I can't do drugs because I will become a full crazy person.
Maybe it'll like make you, work it out though. Like you'll see clearly.
No, because last time, like I tell you all the time about that time when I did drugs with my friends and I was like, I literally showed them everything that I saw and I was like, oh, I could be a cult leader. Like if I were to lean into this more, I would be a cult leader. Like
That would be good content. Jackie's cult.
It is, and it's so hard because it's like I can hear myself like from your perspective being like, okay, she's crazy and like this is like whatever, this is kind of boring. But it's like I hear it, but you guys don't. We all have to get high together.
That actually we should.
Yeah.
We should do that. Yes.
Yeah. And then you guys
I'm
be like,
high
oh,
right
damn.
No, I'm not.
Anyways, so that's what
I'm a Superman. I'll rescue you.
Did you see?
Are you high right now, baby?
Kelly Keegs' post about sleep paralysis?
No.
She said, "This is my sleep paralysis demon."
Oh, I actually did see this. Yeah.
This guy. Do you know this at all?
Is he the guy who wears like the traditional African garb a lot?
I don't think that's the case. He was on The Bachelor. I don't know about that.
Oh, then no, I don't think
Okay.
so. I think this guy's just
This
like,
guy. I have not decided whether I hate him with every fiber of my being or he's a cool cat and like everybody should just leave him alone. It's kind of what we were talking about with you with dance lessons where you want to learn how to dance.
Yeah.
He just really wanted to learn how to like dance like hip hop. So he did it. And he's doing it. But he's chronicling it and being so serious that it makes me want to crawl inside my skin and die. And so like his top pinned post, 6.5 million followers, views, January 17th, 2022, the date of filming this first video you see. And it's him in his bedroom jumping around. And then like
like a
fast
holster.
forward and I guess to whatever day he posted this, and he can kind of do this like little TikTok dance. And he has this whole caption.
Oh boy.
This really long story about like I've always wanted to learn how to dance, but I was too afraid to take a class. I was living with my brother for like 6 months, so I just used to practice dancing alone in my brother's bedroom. And then I built up the courage to take a private lesson where I just did it with one person. And eventually I came to the realization that like, who cares what people think? Fuck it if they're laughing at you and making fun of you. I'm going to take a dance class because I want to learn how to dance. And that's what I'm doing now. And he's not, there's another video of him doing the Dougie. He's not bad. It would be like if I saw you at a wedding doing that, I'd be like, oh, that guy can actually dance well.
Yeah.
But now that I know you had like a lifelong goal and you set out and you struggled with it and, have these lessons, private lessons, public lessons, and chronicled all of it, and now I'm like, oh my God, no, I can't even look at it.
It's so fucked how the human brain works. Where like, I saw someone saying it recently about Bradley Cooper, where I actually haven't felt this or seen this, but I guess everyone's been clowning Bradley Cooper. And
For what?
I guess like Maestro and taking 6 years to learn.
He's like just doing his.
He's in his like Daniel Day-Lewis.
He's thirsty
era.
for an Oscar.
Yeah. That I do feel. I felt that.
And people were like, I think someone said, when did everyone start turn on Bradley Cooper? And someone quotes it and it was like, it's just kind of like early days Anne Hathaway. He's trying too hard and wants it too bad. We can't give it to him. And I was like, you're not wrong. Like my brain feels the same way.
It's just fucked.
So fucked.
It's so
up.
fucked. It's so fucked up.
Like, oh, this person has a goal they've set and they're trying their best to achieve it. Fuck them.
Yep.
Like, why are we like this, man?
It's so bad. There has to be something innate of like you're doing something and I'm not. So deep down there's some, I don't know, jealousy or whatever, inadequacy. But like this should not be a thing. You know? Also, he posted that video, the one that Kelly posted. He said like when are all of the dates for the cookouts in 2024? So that exactly that is it. That is if you could bottle
like,
that.
Calm myself down right now. Just like
like
it's okay, John. It's all right.
Yo,
can't hurt you.
Yo.
You're in a coma.
It's not real. Don't worry. That is the problem. Is send me the cookout. Send me the cookout addies all of 2024, and it's him doing that goofy ass dance. That is tough.
It's like, that made my nipples hard. Like, in a bad way.
That is where you cross. There's such a fine line in life of I want something and I'm going after it, and that's admirable. And like we fucking hate you for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it is. Like I don't know why Anne Hathaway got that treatment. I don't know why. There's the Nickelback effect is just sort of a similar thing. There's just a level that makes you go, fuck that.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, like Bradley Cooper is proof positive that it can happen to anybody. Because I'm always of the belief that, especially on the internet, there are the people that fans and viewers and followers and shit just gravitate towards, and then there are the people who they hate. And sometimes it's just like, I don't know why. Sometimes it's very obvious, like you look a certain way or you act a certain way. Other times it's like, I don't know, that's like a perfectly normal guy, but the internet decided like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
And you just can't, it's just like the way the cookie crumbles. Like if you're on the haves or the have-nots, it's just the way it goes. But Bradley Cooper was cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's crossing over, it shows that you can like burn through all your coolness if you start doing uncool shit. Because like, I would say that I would think that Kanye would have like been like that. Like we don't think you're cool anymore, but people still definitively ride for that guy. But Bradley Cooper, it's like you burned through all your cool points.
Like, come on, guys! I put on a prosthetic nose to play Leonard Bernstein. That dude said, "I love Hitler." Why do you still like him?
Also, that Hitler aside. The Leonard Bernstein thing is not going to get you the cool points. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like even doing if you do your Oscar thing for like the wrong thing, it's like, we don't care about that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ray Charles was cool when Jamie Foxx did it. Like the big nose Leonard Bernstein's not going to get it done.
I don't know. I still have to watch the movie. I don't know anything about him.
Leonard Bernstein?
Yeah.
He's like a fucking wonderfully brilliant, amazing musician, conductor. I think he composed music and shit.
I saw
think
very
every musical for a period of time was his music or whatever. I think he's incredibly prolific and talented, but it's like exactly my point. Like you don't know.
I still ride for Bradley Cooper. I'm a big Bradley Cooper guy, despite the fact that I have not seen his new Oscar.
I am too. But I understand what fans are saying. Like when you're Oscar chasing, it feels there's a vibe to it.
Yeah.
When all of a sudden you decide to be a method actor or only take certain roles, and it's like, bro, we loved you in The Hangover.
Yeah.
That you were cool, and then you do some bigger movies and shit. You're a real actor, but like we thought you're like a cool guy, a funny guy, and now all of a sudden you're switching up.
But like McConaughey did the same thing.
Yeah, but I think McConaughey, like, you got to just get it done. You know what I mean? Like, he just did it, and then it worked. Like, if Bradley Cooper did True Detective, it'd be one thing. His first thing seemed to be a prosthetic nose to be a musical.
Wait, did Cooper
composer.
get nominated for Silver Linings Playbook?
I
know
think
Jennifer
the movie
Lawrence won
did,
for
and
it.
I
No,
feel
she
like
didn't
she
win.
did. I don't know if he did.
The movie definitely did. I think Sniper got some nominations too.
Yeah.
He
Yeah,
did,
I mean,
like,
he's
A Star Is Born.
definitely.
Star Is Born got some nominations. A Star Is Born got fucked. A Star Is Born lost to Bohemian Rhapsody, which is definitively a way worse
What did he
movie.
win down there?
Best actor nominated for Silver Linings. American Sniper. Best supporting actor for American Hustle. Actor for A Star Is Born.
So he has 3 Best Actor nominees
Yeah.
and 1 Best Supporting.
Yeah, so I think
He's already been in his
I was gonna
bag.
say, I think
Yeah.
you're a Johnny Come Lately to be like he's chasing it now. I think.
Well, but see, maybe that's the difference though, because I kind of disagree. I think like he was on the right track. Those were all movies that were Oscar movies that were like also like kind of like popular movies.
Yeah.
You know, the Leonard Bernstein joint is like I'm trying to win my Oscar.
Right.
And it's like your Silver Linings Playbook was like a sports movie.
Yeah.
For, you know, Sniper was like a
They didn't just have that fake baby.
that fake baby fucked him over. That's one of the most inexplicable things to ever happen in a movie.
It was just the baby. The shooting ran long, and the baby's going to be on set for so long that the baby had to go home. And they're like, "We need to get the scene done today."
They couldn't just do it tomorrow.
I guess not. Like legally, the baby had to go home. They've
Yeah.
done takes with the baby. But
I
like,
just think like when you have like $1 billion budget and a movie, a true story, all this shit, even those people will mail it in and be like, just get the fucking doll.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's actually interesting. I was saying this to like we had like an Out of Order thing that like how like I used to think that Out of Order was done like very haphazardly and thrown together, and it's like interesting seeing like a lot of stuff is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I watched a clip of Bradley. I think it was like the Actors on Actors, and Bradley Cooper was talking about Maestro, and he was talking about like him and Carey Mulligan's relation. I guess I don't know much about Leonard Bernstein, but I guess part of his story is that like he was a womanizer, but his wife knew about it, but his daughters didn't. And there's a moment like where Bradley Cooper's talking to Carey Mulligan, who plays his daughter, and he was like, I'd made such a connection with Carey that I felt like I had to tell her. And he's like, in the scene, you can see me like shaking my head. And
Wait, Bradley Cooper says
he, as Leonard Bernstein, he's like, I felt like I had to tell
Got
her
it.
about my infidelity or whatever. And he's like, you can see me shaking my head. And he's like, that's not quote unquote Leonard Bernstein. That's me, the writer of the movie, being like, if I say this, what do I have to change there? And like in the rest of the script and being like, nah, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. And I was like,
Wow.
oh, I was like, so even like the fucking big Oscar movie, they're still like figuring it out while
as
they're
they go.
shooting it.
Yeah.
I thought
That's
that was
interesting.
cool.
Do you think that like big celebrities know when like I was thinking like for Taylor, you know, like a lot of the internet's like Taylor needs a stylist, but there's not like I don't know how she would ever hear about that because she's not reading comments, and I don't think anyone on her team is gonna be like, yeah, by the way, the internet thinks that you have terrible style.
Yo, people read comments. People are always. Taylor Swift is on the
Does
internet.
Taylor Swift?
Taylor Swift's on the internet.
I think Taylor Swift, I
Taylor
would
Swift
think
is for sure on the internet.
if
Yes.
I don't think so.
Oh, totally, dude. She used to be on TikTok. She used to be on, like literally on the internet,
But like I think that's
like relatively.
I don't
recently.
think Taylor's reading comments. I think Tree Payne knows if something gets big enough, tell Taylor about it.
Yeah.
But like I don't think she's. Just,
I think
like-
people are aware of their. I'm not saying she sits there like scrolling through comments, but I think Taylor knows when the internet is happy, sad, mad, which thing is happening, what's gone viral, what's working, what's not. I don't think she's in like a bubble at all.
But
No, I
like,
don't
how?
think so either.
I don't know.
But like I don't think she's reading individual comments. I think you get a vibe, but you're not.
I mean, like there's the accounts that like aggregate it and TMZs of the world, like you know.
But where do you get that vibe from? Like, I don't think that Tree Payne is being like, yeah, by the way, like everyone thinks you have shitty style. Like, I don't think that she's saying that to her.
I hope not.
I think she would.
Would she?
If it was a big enough deal, like I mean, like I don't look at stuff. I would hope if something became massive, you guys would be like, hey, you probably have to address this.
Yeah, but if all of a sudden everyone was like we hate Feitelberg sweaters, I would be like, he loves those sweaters so much. I'm not gonna tell him about the sweaters.
I feel like that is a thing.
I was gonna say that's welcome to life. There's
that's
always been.
That's either actually something being said or something you think. That didn't come out of nowhere.
No, I like your sweater. They don't like your. No,
but like that's a perfect example. It's
Nobody
like
said
John
anything
doesn't
about
sit around. John doesn't sit around reading comments, but I'm sure he knows that there are people who think that he dresses ridiculous.
Yes.
Because that's always been like a conversation.
But also, I wonder if I would now, because that I knew that when I looked at stuff, people said stuff. I assume,
but like it's
continued.
But we're also at a point where it's like you've like definitively proven you dress well. Then there are just dumb people who don't know that.
Yeah, and he's just not like how I dress. That's fine.
Well, yeah, that too. But it's also like
everyone comments good things about your outfits.
yeah, like people who know what's going on, like your outfits. People who don't know what's going on would be like, that's so silly that you're wearing bell bottoms. But it's like, hey, dummy, you're the fucking idiot because, like, look at the fashion show the other day. Like, so it's almost like those people's comments don't matter, but those comments are happening.
Right,
that's occurring. You know.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, if shit goes, like, if the people start turning on you and like it's something that needs to be addressed, I'm not gonna address it with you. Like,
I respect that.
That's not.
Pavs will tell me.
I don't think you will either.
If it's a massive thing,
bro,
where it's like,
well, yeah,
and a changeable thing. If it's a massive thing that I can fix,
I would let you know. Yeah.
Yes. If it's just like,
okay, I
hate you.
I like Jackie style. Like, yo, I for one, I'm not doing that.
Like if everyone's just like, I hate John, I don't need to know that. But if it's like, hey, John, something I can change.
Like everybody always gets mad at me for interrupting, and I've thought about it when I'm podcasting, and I'm like, every time I start talking, I'm like, was that an interruption? Was that? And then I'm like, I don't know. I've never had people. You've never said anything to me. I've never had guests complain. Nobody has ever in real life said it. But maybe as listeners, it comes across that way. But that is something I could change, and I have even like sat in a show and tried to do. And it's like, I just feel like I'm not talking now.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but then I felt like I'm that's just who I am at that. You know what I mean?
I noticed it for the first time ever last episode because you were talking a lot. I think we have to move the TV. So I think you can't see Jackie and can't read like her body language.
Let's set a date right now. Give me a date.
Fix the studio.
Full studio. We're getting new mics. We're going back to the handheld mics. We're tearing down the walls. We're getting rid of that. We're putting Jackie right over there. Get her involved.
What do we need to do that though? Do we need to like hire somebody?
Do we have to tell
somebody?
Can I also
just say, Pavs the other day he was like, I say on Friday we just tear down the whole place and then rebuild. I was like, dude, on a single Friday you want us to with no plan. He had no plan, no backup. He just was like, and I was like, we're gonna need more time. That he goes, okay, maybe Thursday and Friday. Still,
I think that's something like they need. I don't know if we can do it.
Yeah, I think we should just do it, and just whack whatever happens. Like it's not gonna be good.
That sounds like we're gonna have a destroyed room.
We just do it from now on. We just do it in what do they call those rooms?
Like a pile of rubble.
What do they call those rooms? Rec rooms?
Rec rooms.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But then it's going to be over, and it's like, all right, now.
I'm thinking whoever's going to have to build it back up is going to be like, well, you shouldn't have whacked that thing with a fucking. We needed that thing that you broke with a sledgehammer. So.
Yeah, that's why it's such a man thing to just be like, yeah, we're just going to build it and take it all down one day.
I do shit like that a lot.
Right now. That panel right there is already coming off. Rip it off.
I think no.
This is gonna start.
Nah, never mind. That looks bad in there. It's like insulation.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the problem is we need to have a.
Maybe we do like a potluck where it's like everyone's in charge of one piece of furniture, and then like we
definitely need carpeting. That's the reason why like our sound's a little off because there's not enough. Softening of the voice.
That's actually a good point. I never thought of that.
So we have to get some soft stuff in here.
But that I think we should have like a carpet, not a rug.
We should have a carpet.
So that means we got to get all this shit out and lay down some carpet.
Yeah.
So
we'll have someone else do it.
Well, we just need Pavs and a Friday.
I do that shit so often.
That's like moving. You're like, I'll help you move. It's like, you and your like hatchback is not enough to move me into my fucking apartment. I need a full moving company. That's a friend. Voicemails?
Before we do voicemails, I do want to give a shout out to the KFC Radio listeners, because I did Jake Johnson's podcast last week, and when I showed up, he was like, "Dude, so many people emailed in about how Out of Order is great and how we have to pump you up because you never are going to promote anything." And he talked about it like 5 times. So like, thank you to KFC Radio.
I think also I've gotten a lot of feedback of people being like, I stopped listening and I'm back now. So I have not checked the numbers and I don't want to check the numbers. But I do feel like a lot of people were like, yeah, I went away from KFC Radio because of Barstool Radio, but now I'm back.
Yeah.
So I would hope that people would come back, and I think they are. I just hope that they all did.
It's crazy because they're also talking a lot of shit about your sweaters.
It is SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe time. Now that we've wrapped up 2023 and are ushering into the next, it's the perfect time to reflect on what truly matters, the people we love most. This year, resolve to keep the safer than ever. Resolve to keep them safer than ever with the award-winning SimpliSafe system named Best Home Security of 2023 by U.S. News & World Report. I would trust SimpliSafe in my own home. I don't have one, but I recommend it to everybody who does. Here's why. SimpliSafe is comprehensive protection for the whole home with advanced sensors that not only detect break-ins, but fires, floods, and other threats to your home, and getting you the help you need. With new 24/7 live guard With new 24/7 live guard protection, monitoring agents can actually see, speak to, and confront intruders in your home. Available only from SimpliSafe to actually stop crime in real time. 24/7 monitoring is highly affordable, costing less than $1 a day, half the price of traditional home security. SimpliSafe prioritizes your privacy. That's why their indoor security cameras are the only ones on the market with physical privacy shutters to ensure your privacy 24/7. Satisfaction is guaranteed. Try SimpliSafe for 60 days risk-free. If you don't love it, return your system for a full refund. Keep your homes and family safer than ever in the new year. As a listener, you can save 20% on your new system with a fast protect plan by visiting SimpliSafe.com/KFC Radio. Customize your system in minutes at SimpliSafe.com/KFC Radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Also, because we've been talking through the YouTube stuff, and a lot of people who watch all of the YouTubes have been giving us feedback. We're going to split it into 2 channels, which is something that like older podcasts when they first joined YouTube always did, and because if you have different run times, if you have short form and long form, just I don't know how that fucks up your algorithm so much. You would think that YouTube would kind of figure that out, that like podcasts and clips are such a big part of content right now, but whatever. So the point is, if we have like a 2-hour show and then we have a 2-minute clip, 5-minute clip, it fucks everything up. So we're going to start, we did it once before. OG listeners might have been subscribed, but we're going to do it right this time with the KFC Radio Clips channel, where we can put out, 5 to 8 minute clips of me and John, where we just riff on one topic, one voicemail, one segment, one question, whatever it may be. And then on the regular KFC Radio channel that you're currently subscribed to, you'll get full interviews, full episodes, vlogs, shit that's long form video. All of that will be on there. So you just got to subscribe to the second channel as well. And that way, the schedule we were trying to come up with was hard for the producers, leaving half the fans unsatisfied, and half the fans were missing things. So 2 channels, we'll get that going soon, and then you'll get full videos and full interviews all back on this one channel, so you don't have to go anywhere. Voicemails, let's go.
Wait, one more thing. What the fuck, Del Taco?
What?
What's the deal with Del Taco?
I don't know.
I thought it was like In-N-Out. I thought it was like great.
Oh, in California, I forget
Yeah.
it's not a thing here. I was like, why are you so aggressively looking at me?
I was so it was disgusting.
Okay, I've only had it.
It was so bad.
I've only had it once, and I got in a huge fight with my family then, so like I never went back. So I, for one, hate Del Taco too for different reasons.
You got in a fight with your family at Del Taco, so now you don't eat at Del Taco?
Yeah.
It wasn't about Del Taco. It was just a
it
fight
was about
at
because
Del
my
Taco?
dad like wanted me to get him cups, and I like didn't hear him, and then he got all mad, and then he was all and then they didn't bring the food out, and then I forgot to do the food. It was this whole thing that like it wasn't my fault. Anyways,
So that's
Let it
what
out,
we
girl.
thought was
Let
Del
it out,
Taco.
Jackie. So you don't like the tacos because of the cups.
yeah, I just fucked Del Taco.
I wholeheartedly agree. I'd heard,
But I've heard,
not-
but most people really like Del Taco.
it was really really bad.
Why? What did you get?
It's like Chipotle, I'm assuming?
No, it's like more like Taco Bell.
Oh.
But it's I just got like
Taco Bell.
what's that?
You said Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Dude, I to be fair, I was also in a bad mood.
Do not get
Apparently, you guys are just going to Del Taco with your life problems and then blaming them for it. Sorry your dad doesn't like you. Sorry you're depressed. It has nothing to do with their tacos.
Well, I had just done. I went to California for like the day, and I had just done Jake's podcast, and I walked out of. They have like a little like a little building, and the studio. It's the whole building's probably about the size of this room, and then there's a little studio, and then there's a waiting room. And I walked out after doing the podcast, and I just assumed no one would be there, so I just like flung the door open, like, whatever. And Rachel Bilson was sitting there, and I like freaked out, and I like had not a panic attack, but just like my brain processed it so weird. Where like when you see someone that gorgeous, I was just like immediately, I was like, not a real person. And I was like, wait, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? Rachel Bilson. And she just stood up and she's like, hi, I'm Rachel. And I was like, I'm John. I'm John. and then luckily Jake like,
Bro, you're a person who's been around a lot of famous people.
but you have to be ready to see them. That was I thought I was coming into a new room. Like, I thought I was just grabbing my bag and I was gonna be on my way.
But my point being that you've been around so many famous people now that, and you like, like we realize that they're just kind of regular people.
Yeah, and like it's not even that I'm like a Rachel Bilson. I like her very much, but like, I don't really know. I didn't watch the OC, so that was I think her major thing.
Yeah.
But I know who Rachel Bilson is, and Jake came out right after me as I was like finishing my stuttering, and I was like, "Hey, Rachel, how are you?" And I just went, "Oh shit, my car's here. I gotta go." And I grabbed my bag, grabbed my wheelie bag.
There was no car.
And walked out, and there's no car.
He called me. He was on the phone with me. He called me directly after this happened, and I've never heard a more like flustered person. He was like, "I'm getting in my car now, but I didn't have a car." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I told Rachel Bilson I had a car. I didn't have the car, but I have a car now."
So, but because also the building is not like tiny, but it's just not like. If you're in the waiting room and I'm standing out front, you can see me. So I just started walking down Sunset Boulevard
with your
bags
I had
and
a
everything.
wheelie bag and a backpack, and I walked for like a half hour. Like I was just like, I gotta get it together, man. You gotta fucking tighten up, John. I was just like, I had
Just beating yourself up for no reason.
I had to get into the street at one point to cross a homeless guy's tent. Just carry my little bag, and then I was like just looking to regroup, and I didn't want to stop and get a car in the middle of the road, so I found a Del Taco, and I was like, I'll regroup in there.
Bro, sometimes
And
I can't even imagine the house of horrors that it is inside your brain. Like all that. I can understand being flustered by Rachel Bilson, but all you had to do was just just order a car and just like sit there and wait for it. And instead you're walking around homeless men and you're worrying about ordering it in the middle of the street and you go, like a half-hour walk. Like you just tortured yourself
Maybe to
mentally.
her, like it came off really cool. Like maybe it was like, I'm John. Yeah, I have a car. But like,
I have a car.
just no car. But then
I'm
also
sure Rachel Bilson went in there and goes, "Who the fuck was that?"
it was a very LA 15 hours because obviously I saw Jake, I saw Rachel Bilson, and then getting on my plane at the airport, Tim Robinson was on my flight.
whoa.
Told him he should have said something.
Which
I'm very like leave people alone. But I don't know. In that moment, I think I would have. I just shoot your shot in some ridiculous manner, and he's gonna say no. But like whatever.
I didn't even tell you this. I I didn't tell you in the moment because I knew that's what you were gonna say. Where like you don't tell your friends who are gonna tell you like what you should do.
Yeah.
And I was like, Kevin's gonna be like,
yeah. So we were talking about the Lions, and he was like, did I tell you I was on a plane with him to LA? So by that point, it was like 3 days ago.
But I misspoke there. It was back from LA.
Okay, but either way, I did. I was like, how come we didn't tell me when it happened? There's the answer.
Like, because Kevin's gonna say the right thing, and I'm not gonna do that. So
I mean, you saw him on the plane or like in the airport?
I saw him everywhere.
Oh no,
Bro.
Like an airport airplane. I'm not gonna. Someone's putting their bags in their shit and like getting settled. I'm not gonna be like, excuse me, I got a sketch show and blah blah blah. But if you had a chance at like the terminal or something,
I was behind him in the Hudson News. Literally, he was in front of me in line. He clearly didn't like not clearly because he wasn't like putting out like that kind of like leave me alone. He had the exact opposite of that energy where he's just a regular ass dude. But it just like
I think he's still not. I don't think he's famous enough. To be like,
I was gonna bring this up. Shout out. He sat and fucking coached with the plebes.
Hell yeah.
Actually, at least I assume he boarded with me, which was main cabin 2. I don't know where he sat, but like he went on.
Bro, first class flights. Big money, man. A lot of money. If you're spending your own money, unless you're mega rich, you're like, I'll just go 2 rows back.
It was actually also it's completely fine. Just like sitting on a plane for 6 hours.
Well, I don't know. Have we talked about this before? I don't know whether first class has gotten lesser or main cabin has like gotten...
No, main cabin's gotten lesser still.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because it like unless you get one of those pods, which are dope, like you get like a bed.
Yeah.
It's really not. I mean, I don't know. It's not that different.
No.
I think people like when they offer you a drink and all that shit. It's like I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, I don't want to pay $2,000 to have a glass of champagne.
Yeah, for real, don't need that. Maybe back in the day, like I think they used to do like hot towels, like fucking jerk your dick off and all this stuff. Maybe like before COVID, it was like more of a treatment. But like, I don't know. When I started getting booked first class for Barstool, there was one trip fully. We went to LA. And we had the bed, and I was like, this is awesome. I was like, can we stay up in here and circle the plane? Like, I love it up here. And then the other ones, I'm like, I don't know, the chair's a little bit wider.
Yeah. Yeah, this was my own book.
It's about
Barstool has deemed me first class. I have not deemed myself first class.
Yeah, if I'm traveling on my own, I'm not paying first class prices. No way. No fucking way.
Crazy. But yeah, he was back there. I had thought because I saw him at TSA. I texted to you, and then I was like, he must be going somewhere else. And then I went to get myself a water before the flight. He was right in front of me. I went to sit down at the terminal. He was there. And it was like I've been like, what am I going to say to him? And I just said I didn't end up saying because it didn't end up happening organically. I was like, if I organically see him, I'm just going to give him a nod and say go Lions. But I didn't say that either. So
I'll never forgive the Lions fans for not making that their thing. That was the easiest and best like rally cry of all time, sitting right in front of them. And Tim Robinson himself like embraced it and went to the games, and they still weren't saying it. Your quarterback posted it. The guy responded, came to the game. That'll do. Perfect phrase. Could have made $1 billion on T-shirts. You could be all screaming that'll do right now going to the NFC Championship game, and you guys just didn't do it.
Oh, wait. By the way, when I'm sitting at the gate, Stooley is a chair over from me, 2 chairs over, and he's like, hey, just want to tell you, a huge fan. Love KFC Radio. Love Out of Order. You got it's such a cool sketch, blah, blah, blah. And I was just, Tim Robinson's over there.
Dude,
so,
you should have ran.
Like, it's the second best sketch show at this airport gate.
Bro, you should have ran a little 1-2 with him. Be like, can you do that again in like 2 minutes with Tim Robinson coming by? I need like, as he's boarding, someone to go, I love your sketch show. Yeah. And then when he turns around to go, thank you, it's actually you. That would have been a great little hustle on Tim Robinson. All right, voicemails, let's go.
Wait, can I pee? Sorry. Mm-hmm. I had to pee before the show. Actually, that's the thing. I think I have the strongest prostate in the world.
The strongest prostate in the world.
It's insane.
Do you come hard? Isn't that your prostate?
I don't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah, you do.
What do you mean?
You've seen fast cum, hard cum, soft cum, slow cum.
Oh, no, then. I thought you meant just like...
I think that's what your prostate does.
Well, I can keep it tight. Like.
Oh, you can just squeeze your ass and leave it tight.
I boarded my flight to LA having to pee. I like boarding was taking a little while, and I was like, is it worth walking over to that bathroom? Nah, never mind, fuck it. And I was like, I'll just pee on the plane. I got on the plane. I got 2 old women sitting next to me. They both conk out right away.
Oh, no.
I wasn't going to wake them up, so I just sat the entire flight having to pee. 6 hours.
But how bad do you have to pee?
Before the flight, I was going, should I walk over? I should probably just pee right now. And I didn't. 6
hours later.
And there was also a woman on the plane puking next to me, which was... Oh. Well, how sick do you think you have to be on a plane? She was the aisle over. But first of all, the flight attendants overdid the situation. They brought her a trash bag. So she just had her head in the trash bag. Like, I think a barf bag would have done it. Like, it wasn't like
I don't know, sometimes,
filling up a garbage bag of puke.
I know, but those barf bags, I feel, go the other direction. Yeah. Like a little lunch bag. It's like I need somewhere in between. What you need is the perfect thing is a bathroom garbage can.
Yeah.
That little thing. That's perfect.
But the flight attendants came and they had a wet towel on her head, they had an ice pack on her neck, and they like cared for her for like 20 minutes, and then she disappeared for like an hour, and then she came back. Seemed fine when she came back. But I was actually texting Kevin about this. How sick do you think you have to be on a plane? Because at one point when they were helping her, they were like, someone alert the pilot. And I was like, fuck. I'm taking this flight. We're gonna emergency land in Kansas. The whole reason I'm doing this is to do a podcast. I'm gonna do that via Zoom from a fucking Holiday Inn outside the airport. This is all worthless. And we didn't end up landing, obviously. But like, how sick do you need to be to have an emergency landing? Because this woman was like, if I was her, I'd be like, land this fucking plane. I want to just lay down somewhere. Like I can't stop puking. It seemed like she couldn't stop puking, shitting, whatever it was.
We were talking about that last episode, just being that sick when you're at home. If I was on a plane that sick, the closest I've ever been was super, super hungover from New Orleans back home, and I was sitting out of the bathroom like 10 times, and if I could have fucked up that whole plane, like 200 people's day, and been like, we're landing in Tennessee or some shit, I would have been like, do it. I gotta get off this plane. I'm sorry, guys. I gotta get off this plane. That is the worst fate ever.
Like, if you're sick to the point where you need ice packs on your neck and wet rags on your forehead, like, I'd be like, I don't care. Fine, there's a bomb threat.
Yeah.
Like, what do I have to say to fucking?
I'm gonna kill all you now. Or like, this is like The Walking Dead. This is a terrible disease. Let's land the plane.
One time I was like going to China. We were halfway to China, and then somebody got sick, so we had to turn all the way back around. Went to San Francisco.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, say it again.
And I remember being like, this better be like something really serious, because if it's somebody with like a bad hangover, like that's fucked up. Yeah. We were halfway there.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It must be there. I'm sure there is some level. I guess they maybe ask you, maybe like, how bad can you make it? But like, I guess if hard stuff, you're landing right away. Aside from that, they probably ask you and if they actually ask me, I'd be like, nah, we'll make it fine. Yeah. But like in my head, I'd be like, oof, I wish we could get this fucking thing on the ground right now.
They should just be able to throw you off the plane. Give you a parachute and ejector and all that shit. We'll have somebody come pick you up in the middle of the ocean. Honestly, if you told me on that flight, we can eject you, you will land safely, but like you have to like someone had to pick you up in the woods, I think I would have said yes. Just get me off of this tin can right now.
All right, okay. Rough and Rowdy is back in New England. Rough and Rowdy is back in Providence, baby. This Thursday, January 25th, 20 amateur matchups and boxing chaos like you've never seen before. Dave Portnoy, Big Cat, Robbie Fox, Roan, Caleb, Large, Jersey Jerry, and Frank the Tank all return with commentary for 3 hours of entertainment. As someone who's purchased Rough and Rowdy countless times, yes, purchased with my own money because we don't have a code here, it's worth it every time. I'll be honest with you, I have not bought every Rough and Rowdy match. I have not watched every Rough and Rowdy match. I have never bought a Rough and Rowdy match and been like, damn, I wish I didn't spend money on that. Every single time, Rough and Rowdy delivers. Main events include a dwarf fight Dwarf title fight. Bobby Lang back in the mix, defending his heavyweight belt against a 6'5" monster. Vicky D versus a 39-year-old angry mom. And Lord Burns versus the Backflip Ninja. Also, obviously, live Ring Girl contest after the bell. The pay-per-view is available to watch on buyrnr.com with replay available for the following week. Come watch New England locals settle their local feuds with fists and spit. I don't know if that second one is legal, but it's gonna be a night full of pure disrespect. Again, go to buyrnr.com. Get it.
What up, KFC? Fights with Nick Saban's recent retirements. He's going to be treated like a king for the rest of his days in Alabama. I thought of this, would you rather? Would you rather be king of Alabama or live in pretty well in an awesome state? Like you earn like $70,000, $80,000 a year, but you live in Hawaii. Viva.
I think this is a pretty easy one.
Do you? I think it's kind of tough.
Really? I have no interest in being king of Alabama.
I'll
live in Hawaii.
Yeah, but like 70 or 80 is not a lot. If we were talking Honolulu, like,
well, that number that was pretty low. Yeah, that was.
It's not like you're not. It's you can live very well, but it's not like.
So
like king of. I mean, Saban made.
Yeah.
$10-15 million a year.
Well, so I'm not thinking about it as terms of money, but I mean, if you're asking me money, I was thinking of it more as
but also like in Tuscaloosa, like what do
you do with that money? But no, if you're
travel.
If you're asking me, you want to make $20 million a year in any state versus $70,000 in any state, I'm going there.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of it more as like not the money, like the way you're like treated and live and stuff. Like,
I actually think the treatment stuff is an argument for Honolulu. Like Nick Saban can't go to dinner.
Yeah.
Well, he can't just have a nice dinner.
Right. And he's also like vilified if he loses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like all the glory.
Well, but like now that he's retired, it's all all
that's true. Now you retire, it's just, free dinners and all that shit for life. But yeah, like this is one of those things where, and it's not just Tuscaloosa, but although I'm sure it's probably a little bit more with some of like the hillbillies down there. But like half the time, the people that like love you, you're like these superstars are like, get off of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's why I always
not because they think less of you. I think Saban's just like, I just want to eat fucking.
But
dinner,
also,
man.
I also do even think like I always get a kick out of the thought of Trump fans. Being, he would literally spit on you if you came near him. Some of these like real superstars, not just sports superstars, a little different. Like if you're like a pop star and it's like, oh my god, I'm crying, and that girl's like security, get him the fuck away from me. You know what I mean? So half the time it's like they don't even like you, but they're just, it's like, yeah, all right, I get a free dinner, but I don't want to be around you animals. You know?
Yeah, I would think I'm thinking Honolulu. Is that what you're thinking?
If it's money, if it's just like straight money, I don't think I can take $70,000 in Honolulu. Specifically, isn't Honolulu like the most expensive place in the country?
Yeah,
because they like import everything.
But also, like he said you could pick your state, like I'd rather live in like Maine.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be. I didn't think that was like an extreme one.
Yeah,
I think. Again, if it's a normal life versus King of Alabama, and we're not just talking about straight dollars and cents, I'm taking a normal life. I don't want to be the king of Alabama. I don't want to be anything in Alabama.
After talking it out,
like where? Okay. Like what's the first thing you would do as king of Alabama?
Move.
Build a wall, build a fucking moat around my mansion, and try to make it look like Honolulu. Like import. This is like when we used to do that. Would you live in Ohio, but you get like $100 trillion?
Yeah.
And I was like, I would just make a dome that looks like I'm living somewhere else. I would just try to make it look like I'm not in Tuscaloosa, but.
I mean, I'm just picturing Tuscaloosa like Tallahassee, which is it's just strip malls. Like,
there's just nothing. There's nowhere to thrive.
Nothing you can do really.
There's got to be, because of football. I would imagine with all those boosters and a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's got to be like a high end of it, but like.
But even Tallahassee, the capital, like all the congressmen and stuff like that live there, and senators and shit like that, right? I guess senators live in D.C. But
thanks, man.
Like, there's a lot of politicians, a lot of high end politicians. I'm saying, like there was a downtown, and I'm sure there are outskirts that are nice, but like, I don't know. I said Maine. I'd prefer Vermont, I think. But
I was thinking of it as like, would you rather be like King of Alabama?
Which is
or
probably
like,
not that different, honestly. Like,
I think you have to live a lifestyle, though. Like, if I was just making $70,000 with a shitty job in a state, but if it's like I get the choice of like I'm gonna go be like a bartender or ski
if I'm getting
or whatever.
you tell me I'm making 70, 80 and I can pick my occupation.
Yeah,
if
that's
I'm making
the thing.
70, 80 and I have to fucking work at like Subway.
If I'm working a shitty
70, 80,
corporate job,
yeah,
versus King of Alabama, I'm taking the King. If it can be like, do you want to be a bartender in like the islands and you only make $70,000, but you just have like a hut on the beach, like I'm taking that.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a little more disclaimers on the question itself, but like, bro, I don't even want to know what real estate is like in Alabama.
This is the nicest town in Alabama. It's called Mountain Brook, Alabama. Does look nice.
Yeah. That was quite pleasant.
I'm sure you could get a castle in Alabama for like $200,000.
Yeah, that it's actually that again. Now that we talked it out, it's actually pretty easy. I'd take not an Alabama, but it's not even like speaking. It's not even about Alabama. It's a little bit about Alabama. It's a bit about Alabama, but it's
if you ask me this question about USC, if you ask me this question about certain other schools,
but even those, man, like being that kind of like I can't go in public is not.
Yeah,
I can't imagine that being fun.
But that's the thing about like USC is like you can because he's just the biggest fish in the tiniest pond. Yeah. There is no other fish in the pond.
Right.
There's no fish. You're the only fish. What are these prices? That's $2.4 million. That in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
That must be $60,000. What is that? These are high prices.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of surprised. $859,000 in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
$859,000 for a 3-bed. What does that say?
4-bedroom, 5-bath.
That's still. I would have guessed that like shit was like $100K. Maybe I got Alabama all fucked up. I don't think I do, but yeah, I'm sure there's some people who want the fame or whatever, the notoriety. I don't need that. I'm good. Give me a nice, easy life in somewhere that's a little better. Like that's more my speed or more my style. Next up.
What's going on, KFC Radio? Hope everyone's doing well.
Nice.
I have a fuck up that I'd like to share really quick.
Thank you.
Maybe see if you guys have ever experienced something along this in the professional world. John, obviously I'm not talking to you. So I just started at an accounting firm about 2 months ago. It's been great so far. Tax season starting, so sending out emails to clients, trying to get everyone's financials in order, blah 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 bullshit. And also here's something to keep in mind. In these emails, a lot of the clients have multiple entities or multiple companies. So I'm putting the company I'm referencing to in bold so they can see it. It fucking sticks out, okay? It sticks out. I'm sending an email to one of our clients. Their name is double blank blank. I'm not going to say the name of the company. Double blank blank, okay? In the subject line, I wrote the name of the company, the exact name, okay? In the body, I wrote double blank penetration. Double blank penetration. It wasn't a Freudian slip. I was not thinking about double penetration. I was not thinking about Adriana Chechik, Abella Danger. If I was, I would say it on here, okay? Right. The guy above me caught it. He was like, hey, dude, look at your last email. Tell me what's wrong with it. I spent 3 minutes looking at it. I couldn't find what was wrong with it. And he was like, you said penetration. So, yeah, I fucked that up. I'm not sure if I'm going to get fired. I don't think so, but love you guys.
You said penetration is words you don't want to hear at work, man. It sounds like it probably was a Freudian slip because it sounds like there's a lot of them in your brain up there.
Yeah.
You know the people, you know the activity, you know it all, dude. Double penetration is a tough one to come back from.
It is and it
isn't. You're not getting fired for that though. Not nowadays. That would be like when you work for like, especially if you work for like a real company, you have to check every box before you can fire somebody. Trust me, I know. Like, there was so many times I was like, can you fire me? And they were like, not yet. You still aren't qualified to get fired yet. You have to fuck up for like another 6 months. So I don't know if double penetration is going to get it done right away. I think it helps that there was a space.
Yeah.
You know, double Smith penetration. I don't know, whatever the fuck that name was. Like, helps a little bit. I guess it depends on what that word was, you know?
It's very difficult not letting porn slip into real life, where like we talk about like you can't use words like anal and gay, like it's.
But usually that's like up here.
Yeah,
it's not on paper up there. You know, where someone says a word and you go in your head, you're going, well, like I know what I'm thinking about.
Dude, I remember I got in a Twitter war with, I think the model's name was Chloe Saxon. Who she was British, and British people call like their avatar or whatever your picture your DP, and
something profile their default
I think
profile
it's your display picture, maybe is what I assume,
yeah,
whatever it is.
Oh yikes!
And I was like, "Whoa, what's going on over here?" She's like, "Change my DP or something like that." And this was like a long time ago, and I quote tweeted it like, "Whoa, what's that?" And she like got really mad at me, and then Dave got mad at me, not actually, but because she, I guess, like Stooley started replying to her, and she's like, "All right, chill out. I didn't mean to offend your king." And Dave was like, "No, that's not. I'm the king."
Of course he did.
The letting porn slip out
is tough.
Is tough, particularly when it's DP. The DP is not just
porn. Yeah, DP is like a cut. That's a deep cut.
Bro, on Jake's podcast the other day, there was a call. One of the calling questions was like, a girl called her grandfather jerking off, and
bro, I don't think even we've done that.
and
holy moly, dude, that is.
She was talking about all the. She's like there were multiple women screaming. Like he was watching porn, and I said, I was like, oh, I was wondering what kind of porn grandfathers watch. Turns out it's a reverse gangbang, and like that fell flat. I was like, all right, different crowd.
Who doesn't know? It's a lot of girls and one guy. Come on, it's a reverse of a gangbang. It's a different. That's why me and you have gone on how many podcasts total together? Like. Maybe 10.
I was gonna say 5. Yeah,
that it's better that way. Because if we go and bring this to the people, they're gonna be like, "What was that, dude? What do you think?"
Like
ATM
reverse
is?
Gangbang, and I said it like ready for laughter. It was just like,
I think that. I mean,
like all right, pervert. Like the caller didn't laugh, Jake didn't laugh, Garrett didn't laugh. I was like, all right.
I think the barometer, like, you know, if someone says ATM to you, do you think of a machine or do you think of porn?
Porn.
Right. I think that's the barometer right there. Are you a sick porn pervert or not? A lot of people who would think of the machine first. That's not what I think of.
Access to money?
Once you know all the acronyms and the letters and shit, like, you're speaking a different language. You're speaking a porn language, you fucking pervert. Get out of here.
I almost think that
this guy's nickname is gonna be penetration. Like, even if he survives, you got to leave this company.
You can maybe because people aren't porn enough.
Yeah, they might not.
You could be like, oh, I'm guessing this word started with P. I'm guessing it started.
Or like, yeah, like what if it was like what's the word that sounds like penetration? Conservation or something like that. Like, and you just like fucked up. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like if penetration doesn't jump out that much, or if it is another P word, I don't think most people are perverts.
I disagree with that. In fact,
you think most people know double penetration?
I think most people are perverts. I would.
Well, if you don't know about double penetration, I don't know if you're a real pervert. You're not a real beater.
I think it's a good question. I'm gonna say 70% of people recognize it without doubt.
Double penetration.
Yeah.
Well,
the way you just said it, higher.
It's also different with guys and girls. You're gonna get like 100% of guys, and like how many girls do you think know that, Jackie?
I mean, it's not like an uncommon term.
No, like girls.
I was gonna say we could poll the office, but everyone here's a pervert, so that's gonna be pretty high.
Like, when are girls dropping DP in conversation?
Not often.
Right. Like you're not doing it, and you're not like sharing your porn like watching. So you're probably not the girls are probably not saying that very often.
But it's not even like.
But you see porn.
Yeah, it's also just like I feel like it's used outside of porn too, like in jokes and memes and everything. I would say 50%.
50?
Yeah.
50 of the population or 50 of chicks?
Girls.
There's a lot of.
So that probably comes out to about 70%.
A little light math here. That's about 70%. You think that there's a lot of double penetration jokes out there?
Maybe not. I mean, I'm warped because from working here.
Yeah.
And listening to you guys before, but I don't know.
I think you're all right. You're not gonna get fired, but you're gonna be the porn guy.
You're gonna be the porn guy.
Like,
you're gonna be the creep, and that's almost worse.
Yeah, I'd shave the goatee.
Yeah, that's not a good. Like everything right now is pointing towards like they also might be searching your hard drive. You might be getting a magnifying glass put on you.
I would go in, and it's the look of a guilty man, but like at least you can start to reframe the narrative. Get rid of the goatee. You go because you go in like this. Like that's the dude says double penetration in emails. That's a no brainer.
Yep.
Like oh, who said it?
Him.
Dude, that fucking guy with the goatee.
You really need to ask the question.
Said it in the email. At least you're making the office talk. If they're like, I don't know who it could have been, but there's gonna be office scuttlebutt that someone let it slip. Double penetration email. Right now, you're suspect number 1, bro.
Oh my god, double penetration is tough. All right, next, last one.
What's up, crew? 2 questions. First off, Feits, super jealous that you got to go duck hunting in Arkansas, specifically Stuttgart. Super jealous of that. If you ever want to go duck hunting up 60 miles north of New York City, let me know. We can set that up. And what was your favorite and least favorite part of duck hunting? And then second question, my wife said that she read about 80 books last year. Now, it's obviously 80 books of fairy fantasy porn, but most of them she listened to on Audible. So I don't really consider that reading a full book, more so than listening to a podcast. So do you guys think that listening to a book on tape is considered reading a book? I think that if you have to flip the actual physical page and read the actual words on a physical book to consider it reading a book.
Yeah. If you try to say you read a book when you listen to a book, you're a dirtbag.
Yeah, I thought you were a different take. It's
no.
100. I don't fault you. But like you said, I listened to it. You definitively didn't read.
Right. There's a physical act of doing it. I don't even care if you say I read it and you're just like, oh, I listened to it. Like it's when you're trying to tell me I read 80 books.
Yeah.
If you just say I read it and then you go, oh, like can I borrow it? And you go, oh no, I listened to it. I'd be like, all right, whatever. It's when you say, how many books did you read this year? I read 80, and it's like you listened to 79 of them. You didn't read any of these fucking books.
I completely agree.
So that's if you're trying to flaunt it, then it's a problem.
Yeah.
But I like whenever I try and get like into reading, I'm like, but I know all these words, so why is it any different? It's like I'm reading the words and I know them, so it's like
what books are you reading? When you know all the words?
What are you reading? Do you read books to learn words?
No, but I'm saying it's like read like versus like the point of reading a book is to get the information from the book. So it's like you can do that audio form, and then I'll be like, okay, like I should like probably read it, but then when I'm reading the words, I'm like, well, this is just a less convenient way to get the information in because like it's not like I'm learning anything new. I'm not better than anyone because I know all these words.
Wait, let me stop you there because but you're acting guilty about it, so it's making you sound dumb. like I think it's just about getting the information into your brain or having the story told to you. I do think there can be a little bit something extra to like if you're sitting on a beach reading a book and it's like you have it in your hand, but the way you're like fighting people who aren't.
Well, I'm saying like an audiobook should count as reading.
No.
Because but it's like there's not like I'm getting the information from the book. I've gotten information from 80 books. The only difference of actually reading the book is like my eyes deciphering the words, and it's not like it's challenging me in any way other than. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, but like
there's more retention and shit, I bet. Like when you listen to a book, unless you sit there and you are like just staring at the wall, intently listening to your story, you're missing parts of it. The whole reason you do it.
Reading.
But if I said I ran to the office today, you'd be like, no, you didn't. But I was like, well, the point of it was getting here, and I got here.
Yeah, it's like, how did you get here? Yeah.
And
There's definitely...
I didn't do that word I said I did.
When you read, if you... There have been times I'm reading, and my brain is thinking about something else, and I'm like, fuck, I have to go like 2 pages back because I didn't get any of that. Same thing with when you're listening, but like when you read or listen, you have to do both of them intently. And I think one is harder than the other. One, it's like subtitles on a TV show. Like I think you retain more and like feel it more or whatever.
I opened up a book last night. I bought a couple books from Amazon. It's probably the first book I've read since like freshman year of college. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I felt like the world caving in on me. 3 pages in, like my chest hurt. I was like, this is a lot of like, you have to pay a lot of attention. like, you kids just let your mind wander.
Yo, Pabs is dumb. Maybe we should be reading some books. Maybe it's not the same Jackie.
It's Owen gave it to me. It's like a comedy writing book. But basically, I was just like, this is really bad. And there's no big
I can't
words.
write anymore. I've always had bad handwriting, but I'm only like ever like signing my name or writing out an address.
Yeah.
If I have to write, like when I would write the Elf on the Shelf notes that are like a page, by the end of it, I'm like my hand's like cramped and it's like complete chicken scratch. It's like I used to write out pages and pages of notes and all that shit.
Yeah.
I had not written or really read in a long fucking time.
I will say, like, I can only make it 7 pages before falling asleep because I think it's like too much for me. Like, I'm just so tired by 7 pages.
People do read to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
So like there is something that is very it is a soothing like sleepy thing. So then in order to do it, you have to like be actively not, you have to like try to stay awake and consume it. So there is something about reading, and if you're not doing that, it's not the same. I mean, I listen to books to go to sleep at night, so there is some element of like of sleep in that as well. But you are absolutely not reading. But if we were to like discuss a book, and you listened to it and knew everything about it, and we like debated about it or some shit. Like, who fucking cares?
Yeah.
If you have the information, you have the information.
I feel like the people who like read are really on their high horse about like reading as if they're like learning a bunch of new things. But then whenever I'm reading, the point is I'm like, I know all these words too.
But you keep saying that. I think you need to read better books. I learn new words like every page.
I also think it's kind of funny to open up.
I also won a spelling bee, so clearly I know. I don't know.
I mean, if you read, listen, if you go read some like seriously intellectual books, you're definitely gonna see words you don't know. But I also like I don't get books to learn words.
I kind of do.
Do you?
It's not the
like
point of
keep,
it,
like, your
but
mind
it's
sharp
a
or whatever?
nice like.
I'm always
bonus.
like I don't know what words are going to be in this book. I haven't read it yet. So I don't know if they're going to be big words, small words. I'm just here to like either learn a topic or like a story or whatever, fiction, nonfiction.
It's kind of like the way I read is it's kind of like watching a stand-up or something like that where you're kind of like, I hadn't thought about like saying it like that or writing it like that or using that word there, describing it like that.
Sure.
Like, which you can mostly pick up from listening, but the writing part you can't, where you're like, oh, that's an interesting way to write that phrase or describe that scene. I don't pick it, and it's just the way I learn. Like, I don't pick it up. When I'm listening, I like in headphones, we've done this a million times, but it's music, phone calls, whatever. I'm doing something else, so I'm not really fully invested.
I found like I'll put a book on that I like, and I fall asleep at night, and then I like got to try to find my spot and all that shit. So I'm like not picking up the story, and then I'll listen to a book like when we travel, like while I'm awake but doing nothing that requires mind power. Like we're just walking through the airport, doing mindless shit, and then I can like or driving in the car.
But even that, like I'm still having so many other thoughts, like when I'm driving or when I'm walking. Like I can't. I'm still noticing what people are wearing, noticing stores I'm walking by.
Right, a book is like you're just looking at that page. Yeah, I think there's a difference, but I'm also afraid to say that because Jackie felt very passionate about that. So
no,
I'm afraid she's gonna be mad at me.
No, I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying, like.
Yeah, no, if that's the way you like to consume it, that's completely fine. But when you're like, I read 80, I'm like, well, you didn't read 80.
Like Kelly knows her favorite narrators.
Yeah.
Like you can get deep into that game. I've definitely bought a couple books based on a narrator, but like she knows which one she likes and doesn't like, and like all that sort of shit. So, but you know, if she ran around being like, I read 200 books, I'm like, no, you didn't, bitch. But the bigger thing is like, don't brag about your book consumption. It's like, oh, you read 80 books? I have a job. Okay, get away. Like, give me a fucking break. All right, that's it.
Yep.
Duck hunting was sick.
Duck.
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna go out there and see what.
I feel like you haven't talked about the duck hunting on the
Huh?
podcast. I said I feel like you haven't talked about the duck hunting on the podcast at all. You should.
Duck hunting was sick. I'll talk about it next episode. I'll talk about it more next episode.